Hey, calculus kids, this is Dr. Callahan. How are you guys doing? Welcome to week 9, Friday. Woohoo, we made it halfway through the semester. Here are your 3 questions for the warm up. Keep in mind that today is week 9 Friday, so your warm up log is due today. And so if you're doing this online for the hybrid day, I will see you guys on Monday, and then I'll have you guys turn in your warm up log. But before that, let's go ahead and go over the warm up. And I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and do a little bit of calculation in class as well. So, what food does your state not like? Um, Nevada apparently does not like La Croix, the bubbly water, which is kind of interesting because I love the bubbly water. Um, California apparently does not like Chick-fil-A. Washington, those coffee snubs, does not like Keurig K-Cups. And let's see, licorice for Florida, well-cooked steak in Texas. That is a thing. I went to Montana once and I requested that they cook my steak medium, and everybody was giving me weird looks. Apparently, that's not a thing. You can't do that. And New York does not like ranch on pizza. And it's true. If you ask for ranch, they will say they don't have it, but they'll give you ketchup. So that was kind of interesting. And turkey bacon, which I totally agree. If you're gonna eat turkey, or I'm sorry, if you're gonna eat bacon, you should absolutely eat the pork kind. All right, so a few things that you still need to memorize from our little Kahoot yesterday. You don't want to get overwhelmed in the second semester because this semester you have everything with the derivatives. And I know that's a lot because some of you guys still need to memorize your unit circle, and that's from trig. So already I feel like if you did not memorize your unit circle from trig, this is now kind of an issue because you're now having to memorize the unit circle in addition to derivative. Well, semester 2, we have integrals and we have an entire set of different things to memorize when it comes to that. So you don't want to become overwhelmed. You want to make sure you actually memorize them in little increments because your brain will really appreciate it and you're not going to overwork your system, and you really are not going to be able to study for this class like a month before May when the test is going to be. You have to do it incrementally, so make sure you do that. So trig derivatives, derivatives of transcendental functions like e ln a of u and log, unit circles, make sure you guys are on top of that. All right, now let's go to the question, okay? So looking at this part right here, you have 2 cotangent square, 2 pi t, or 2 pi, or sorry, pi t plus 2. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite h of t to 2 cotangent pi t plus 2, and it's the same thing as if it is a square on the entire thing, okay? And so then I am going to say let u be pi t plus 2. Then u prime is going to be pi is just a constant. Just like, for example, if I have 2t, the derivative of that will be just 2. So the derivative of pi t is just pi. So just pi then. So let's go ahead and rewrite this. 2 cotangent u squared. So your h prime of t is going to equal to, bring the 2 down, 2 times 2 is going to be a 4, cotangent 4, or oops, u, 2 minus 1 is a 1 power, times u prime, because whenever it's not just cotangent x, you have to use it as a u, and there's always a tag along with a u prime. So now that I have this, let's go ahead and replace everything back to this equation. So I have 4 cotangent u, and u is pi t plus 2 times pi, and that's u prime. So if I were to rewrite this so it looks a little bit better, I put 4 pi cotangent pi. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot this. Hold on a second. I did not proceed to do the derivative of cotangent u. So sorry, backtrack a little bit. Let's take that off. Sorry. Okay. The derivative of cotangent u is going to be cosecant squared u. And so I totally did not do that. So I'm sorry. So when I bring down the 2, I have cotangent u times, now let's do the derivative of cotangent u, which is cosecant squared u times, now you do the u prime. Sorry, I'm like, there's something that I'm missing here. All right, so then 4, you know that your u prime is just going to be pi, so I'm going to move it down here. Pi cotangent u pi t plus 2 times cosecant squared u pi t plus 2. All right, that looks better. I'm not sure better is a better word, but it's looking more accurate. And that is your answer. So do be careful with the chains within a chain and within a chain. So just be mindful of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on forward. All right, so if you're at home, take out your warm up, okay? You should have this on the very back of your paper for your warm up. So flip over to the back paper until you find this little chart. So right now, what I want you guys to do is go ahead and count how many boxes did you fill out? You should have somewhere like a little over 100. And your total is going to be something out of 100. So go ahead and put down 100 under the warm up count. So that should be a little over 100. Anything over 100 will be considered as extra credit. Participation. So participation means that you checked in with me online on the YouTube channels. You're not tardy absent on a regular basis, and you basically participated in class and also hybrid online classes. So out of 100 points, what do you think you deserve? And then give me 2 sentences explaining why. Next one is preparation. Are you prepared for class? So being prepared means that you don't have your electronics out. I know you calculus kids are super awesome about that, so you don't have to worry about it. But also having your, white packet and also your warm-up block out, and you're essentially prepared for class. So what do you think you deserve out of 100 points? 2 sentences. Tally up your score. Okay, so I would like you to turn this in to me when I see you guys on Monday. And then if you could take a moment, go ahead and fill out the reflection right here. And that is it. Okay. Let's jump into today's stuff because we actually have a bit to go over. We are going to go over implicit differentiation. I know you're like, what? That sounds really complicated. Implicit differentiation is kind of like standard equation. Do you remember back in Algebra 1, you have slope-intercept form, so everything is y equals mx plus b? And then you were asked to go ahead and grab standard form, which was like ax plus by equals c. And you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to graph that? Because I need my m and b, but I can't find it because it's not in y or slope intercept form. Well, implicit differentiation is standard form, but for derivatives. And I know that sounds complicated, but it's actually okay. It's not too bad. I'm also going to give you guys a calculus puzzle for practice as why was a calculus teacher forbidden to show a movie on implicit differentiation, and then I'm going to show you guys an actual free response question on implicit differentiation that has like A, B, C, D steps on it. And also I have the link on the bottom where you can check your answers and the steps. And the answers and steps are actually from a grader from AP College Board. So it'll give you guys some ideas of what to look for. All right, your notes is going to be on week 9, Friday. So go ahead and turn over to that page. You should have this page right here, and this is the calculus puzzle. You have some practice questions from your textbook on the right side. And you have my notes that's typed up for you guys on how to solve for implicit differentiation, like including the steps and some extra practice questions. We're going to go over 2 questions in class, and then we'll give you guys a bunch of practice questions, and we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started right here. I'm to have you guys go ahead and read the difference between implicit and explicit. So take a pause on the video and read that. Essentially, the biggest difference is explicit is everything is solved for y. Implicit, you have x and y just scrunched up together like that. So explicit, y is solved. Implicit, everything is together. Now what I want you to do is read the steps on how to find the implicit differentiation. And there are 6 steps. It looks complicated, but it's actually not too bad in my opinion. All right, let's go ahead and jump into example number 1. Okay, example 1. Step 1. Take the derivatives of each of the term with respect to x. So, derivative of x squared is 2x. Derivative of 2y cubed. And here is the second part. If variable is y, okay, like this one right here, you need to find the derivative and attach a dy over dx to the derivative. And that's only for y, because for x, you just find your derivative as normal. So the derivative of negative 2y cubed is a negative 6y squared, but then you have to do a dy over dx. Plus, derivative of 4y is 0, so I don't need to, I'm sorry, it's 4, not 0. Dy over dx equals derivative 2 is just 0. Check 1, check 2, done. Step 3. Move all of the terms containing dy over dx to the left side. So anything else, step 4, move everything else to the right side. So I'm going to move that one over. So 6, negative 6y squared, dy over dx, plus 4, dy over dx equals a negative 2x. Step 5. Factor out the dy over dx on the left side. So dy over dx factored out is a negative 6y squared plus 4 equals negative 2x. Last step. Solve for dy over dx. Opposite of a times is a divide. That part cancels. Dy over dx equals negative 2x over negative 6y squared plus 4. That is your derivative. And remember in the beginning, I told you that slope is the same thing as f prime of x, which is the same thing as f prime, same thing as y prime, same thing as dy over dx. So it essentially just means slope or derivative. All right, let's go ahead and go over example 2. For example 2, I'm going to have you guys try it on your own. Here are the steps provided. And actually, here's the answer as well. So pause the video and give that a try. All right, step 1. Whoops. Take the derivative of each term with respect to x. So, well, with this one, you should see that we do have a multiplication. So you're going to have to do a product rule. So with that product rule, let's go ahead and set this up. So on the side, I'm going to say that f is going to be 3x. So f prime is 3. G is y cubed. So g prime is 3y squared. Don't forget the dy over dx. Okay, so now let's go ahead and plug this in. So f prime times g, that's 3y cubed, plus the do f times g prime. So that's going to be a 3x, 3y squared, dy over dx. Derivative of negative 2x, or negative 2y, is a negative 2. Dy over dx, derivative of 7 is 0. Done, done, Step 3, move all the terms containing dy dx to the left. So that's going to include this one going to the right. And step 4, move all the other terms to the right side of the equation. So the 3y becomes a negative 3y cubed on the right side. Step 5, factor all of the terms dy over dx out. So dy over dx, and let's factor that out. And what stays inside is a 3x, 3y squared minus 2. Last step, solve for dy over dx. So let's go ahead and divide everything by this. So dy over dx equals negative 3y squared. 3 times 3, I should have multiplied that out, is a 9xy squared minus 2. And that's your equation. Okay, so now what I want you guys to do is go ahead, and we went over 2 examples. I want you to practice with some of the ones that I have here on the bottom. So go ahead and follow the same steps to determine what your answer is for the ones over here on the right side. So pause the video and give it a try. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at over here. This is a free response question that involves implicit differentiation. So what I would like you guys to do is kind of give that a try and see where you kind of land with that. And if you look at this question right here, it looks very, very similar to what we actually did with the last one with the product rule. But then more importantly, what I want you guys to do is take a look on the right side, which is how the AP College Board graders will be grading you guys. So like for the work that you should be showing on A, this is what it should look like. For B, this is what it should look like. For C, this is what they're expecting. And then on the right side is what they use to grade. If this is what you have, give them 2 points. If this is what you have, 4 points. The breakdown's 1, 1, and 2 points. If they have these 3 parts, it's worth 3 points, 1, 1, and 1. So this entire thing is going to be worth 9 points. So that's generally how they go about grading it. So take a look at this, maybe work out the problems yourself, and then look at the steps and see how it's being graded. It's important to know how they're being graded, so that way when you guys are actually doing this and you're taking the test, you are cognizant of how they will grade this. All right, so let's go on to one of the examples that involves a trig function. Okay, so looking at this right here, you could go ahead and proceed forward with the product rule, or if algebraically you can rewrite it and distribute that x, you can maybe not have to do it. So sine of x equals distribute 3x plus x tangent y, okay? So again, they're all jumbled together. It's not solved for y. It's an implicit differentiation, not explicit. So the first thing to do is to find the derivative of everything. So let's do the derivative of sine is cosine x, no dy over dx because it is x. Derivative of 3x is 3, plus this one you will have to do the product rule. So on the side, f is x, f prime is 1, g is tangent y, g prime, derivative tangent is going to be secant squared x. So secant squared y dy over dx. So let's go ahead and put that into the formula. So the first part you're going to have is f prime times g. that's just going to be a tangent y plus f times g prime. So that is going to be an, whoops, what just happened here? I don't like this, what just happened? Seriously, this is just not nice. All right, well, I guess we're gonna start over again. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't. Oh no, here we go. Okay, I came back to it. I'm like, geez, what just happened? Okay, so I'm gonna have x secant squared y dy over dx. Okay, so then what I want to do is, I know it always says move the dy over dx over to the left side and then keep the x's on the right side. You could do it like that if you're solving for y, or you can do like this way. You can keep the y's on the right side and just keep the x's on the left side because the y's are already on the side, so leave everything else on the other side. Cosine x minus a 3 minus a tangent y equals, I want to factor out the dy over dx. So in order for me to get the dy over dx by itself, divide the entire thing by x secant squared y. Now you could choose to keep it like this, or you can go ahead and simplify a little bit. So use your trig identity skills and see what other ways can you rewrite this. All right. So now what I would like you guys to do is go on to your calculus puzzle. If you look at the questions right here that I'm highlighting in orange, these questions are in implicit differentiation. So what I want you to do is, first thing you're going to do is go ahead and solve for it, and then perhaps even match it, and then complete the puzzle right here. All right, you guys. And if you need the answers, I have the answers right here. Have a great weekend. I hope to see you guys next time. Take care, and as always, stay safe and healthy.